In this video, I'd like to talk about giving whilst grieving, what that means for me, why I felt it was important for me. But before we go into that, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Ghazala at the Heart and Soul Cafe. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're here for the first time, you're very, very welcome. So giving. I have done various videos about my loss. So I lost my son. For those of you who are here for the first time, just very briefly, I lost my son 4 years ago, very sadly. He had a sudden cardiac arrest, and I fell, the way I explained it in a video, I fell into this deep, dark black hole, not knowing, not being able to make any sense of anything, having that disconnection with myself, with my life, with the world around me, with everything in the world. It looked unrecognizable, and that's where I was. I also explain in another video where I think I was in that deep, dark black hole for about 6 to 8 months, but then I came to this fork in the road. And the fork was 2 options. The first option was to give up, to say, I'm done, and that's it. The other option was to do something in my son's honor, in his name. And I felt that having that thought was quite empowering for me, because there I was in this place where I felt I can't make any sense of anything, to then having this thought about, but then I've got this opportunity to do something in his name. And if I don't do it, I felt very strongly that there's no one else that's going to do it. My son has a lot of people around him that love him very much. But I knew that if anyone was going to do anything in his honor, in his name, it was going to be me, or it wasn't going to happen. So I took that. I thought, I can't let my son's death just be in vain. I can't just say, okay, that happened, and then let's forget about it and let's move on. That just wasn't an option for me. That wasn't an option. So I then thought, well, okay, what can I do? And so it's very much a paradox that I was in. I was in this loss, I was in this pain, but at the same time, a part of me was reaching out and thinking, well, how do I extract something from this, and what is that, and how am I going to do it, and how am I going to find the motivation or even the energy to do it? And the more and more I thought about it, the stronger I got. I think that's probably the word I could use, was finding strength, because my passion to do something in my son's honor got stronger and stronger. It was almost like a snowball that just started rolling down a hill, and then I got to a point where I thought, well, okay, I have made that decision. Now what do I do? So giving is something that very much gave me a sense of grounding, a sense of anchoring, and I needed that. I needed to, otherwise, so I know that some people, when they express loss and grief, they express it in a way that they're like in a free fall, that they're falling and there's just no knowing where they're going and when they're going to hit the ground and whether they're going to hit the ground. So it's that free fall. So if I take it in that sense, anchoring and grounding was something that I really, really needed in order to get to that place. And what place that was, I wasn't really even sure. So possibly I'm still not sure what that place is, whether I'm actually going to get there. And does it really matter? As long as I'm on that road, I'm on the road of trying to do something good, trying to achieve something. And that's okay too, isn't it? it's not really a matter of getting to a particular destination. It's the working towards, which I think is important. And by working towards something, you have that passion and drive to get up in the morning and to do something positive. So for me, it was very much that. So I started up a charity, and I've mentioned this as well before in previous videos. So the giving was very much, okay, let's expend my energy in doing something positive, raising money perhaps, and we've already established a 5-bed ICU in an existing cardiology hospital because my son very sadly had a cardiac arrest. And that gave me a sense of, okay, I've already created something that's in my son's name. It has my son's name on the charity name on each machinery, every machinery that we purchased, and so there was that sense of achievement, a sense of, well, in his name now, we don't know how many people are going to maybe benefit, and how many sons maybe are going to go home that day to their mothers. And that's something that didn't happen for us that day, that particular day on the 14th of April 2021. I went to the park, my local park, with my son and came back on my own. And if I can give the opportunity to have a son come home to his mother, then it's a job done. So so giving is something that gave me that strength, and it's not that you want some kind of reward for it or even acknowledgement. It's not about that, because it's a very personal reason as to why you're doing it. And I just feel that the universe knows that the universe knows that I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it, and I don't need to sort of prove it to anybody else. It's a very personal thing. So that was one thing that I did, and I'm still doing, and that's very meaningful for me. The other thing that I look towards, and some of you will already know this, that I volunteered for a charity, and it's a bereavement charity where it's amazing the work that they're doing. It's not just national; it's international, where they support women, many women who have experienced loss. And because I have experienced child loss, most of the clients that I receive from them are also women who have experienced child loss. And that gives me so much, because what am I doing? I'm giving around an hour of my time to someone, and it's sometimes through telephone call, and sometimes it's through video call, and sometimes we meet face to face, and it might be through Zoom, Zoom video. So it's saying to someone, I'm here, I'm present 100% for you. What do you want to talk about? And it's giving someone that opportunity to share, and offload, and talk about whatever they want to talk about, without me. At that time, it's not really about me. Sometimes they want me to share, and obviously in my intro, when I first meet my clients, I do share where I'm coming from and what I've experienced, because otherwise we're not going to build any kind of connection. Why am I doing what I'm doing? There must be a reason. So I need to give what that reason is, and my son is the reason. So, very often we do say, well, it's my son and your son or daughter that have brought us together, because sometimes you make some meaningful, deep connections with people that you just wouldn't have otherwise. You just wouldn't. And so that gives so much, and no amount of money could ever give me what doing that gives me. When someone says things such as, Ghazala, you don't know how much you've helped me. And I sort of think, well, what have I done? I've just turned up, I'm here and I'm present and I'm all ears, and that's really what I'm doing. But that person then says, well, you were there when I was at my lowest point and I didn't have anyone else to share, what I was feeling and what I was experiencing with, and you were. So, and when someone says something like that, you think, well, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. And 3.5 years later, I'm still doing it. I have 2 clients this afternoon today, and these women are going to share things with me that they possibly won't share with anyone else. I don't know, but I don't know that, but that's not important. What's important is that they are sharing, that they are processing what they're experiencing. And so giving for me is not necessarily, giving something materialistically to somebody, which obviously that is giving too, but to just give your time and say, I'm here for you. And, that for me has been so rewarding and meaningful, and has given me that sense of meaning and purpose after something so awful like losing my child, losing my son. So those are some of the things I do. And this, YouTube is something that's so recent. I think it's 2 weeks today since I've been uploading some videos and working through this. And I think with this, it's not all just giving. I think when it comes to this, and I think the counselling as well isn't all just about giving, because I'm receiving too. And I say that when people say thank you, and because I say, well, don't thank me, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here, to be present, because it is a two-way thing. Although I'm not expecting anything back, I know that it's an opportunity for me to, because people do want you to sometimes share your experiences, and when they do, when they want me to, and I do. So it's very much, a two-way thing, that it's like connecting with an old friend, somebody who understands you, and that's important. And that's where I talk about, every so often I talk about finding your people, and I think that's so important to do, because you need to feel that you can be present and be yourself, and turn up sort of your authentic self, or the closest to your authentic self that you have, and not feel that you have to make any excuses for anything, or almost feel guilty for how you're feeling, or saying, sorry, but I'm feeling like this. Well, you don't have to say that. Well, because you are feeling like this, and it's okay. And for someone to validate that at no cost, and I think that's important. So those are some of the things I do. And as I say, YouTube is something new, and I think this is maybe a two-way thing too, where I am having the opportunity here to share with my imaginary people through my phone, through YouTube, people that I haven't actually connected with yet. And I don't know whether I'm going to connect with them. I don't know whether this is actually going to work. But if nothing else, I've had the opportunity to share things that I probably haven't ever shared. Not probably, I haven't actually shared with anyone else. So that's probably quite therapeutic for me, because I haven't had that opportunity to do that. So this may be like maybe a two-way thing. Otherwise, giving, sometimes we can just do small things. So if I was going to suggest anything to anyone, I would say, just smiling, just smiling to somebody is giving. Is, you don't know how that smile might be received for that person, what that smile means. When you smile at someone, you might have just brightened up their day. You might have just made that person feel, oh, I am seen. Someone just noticed me and smiled at me. Okay, I am here. You just don't know what that smile might mean. And then there's other things, such as just checking in on someone, checking in on a neighbour, making sure that they're okay, especially if it's an elderly neighbour, maybe doing a little bit of grocery shopping for them, perhaps. And I don't need to give you these ideas; they are there, aren't they? But and I think listening to someone, I think is quite empowering. I think it's something that we can all practice. We're doing better. And I did a whole video about listening to how to listen to a griever. So I did cover that in a video. Do have a look at that. But it's having the ability, or giving someone the opportunity and offering them a platform to share without you interrupting, without you assuming, without you trying to fix, whatever it is that they're sharing with you. Because we're human beings, and we tend to, want to just fix things for people. And, it's coming from a good place, but sometimes you can just say, I see your wound right now, and I'm not going to try and cover it with a Band-Aid, a plaster. I'm going to allow you to cry about your wound. I'm not going to leave you alone right now, but I'm not going to try and fix it, because we can't fix this. We can't just fix it. We can process it. We can talk about it. We can listen to someone, but there isn't any fixing to be done. It's acknowledging. It's accepting that it is. I think that's what's important there. So yeah, giving. It's helped me. It's made me more empathetic. It's made me more compassionate. And I think that's been quite empowering. I found depths of myself when it comes to empathy and compassion, being compassionate, and resiliency. And I'll talk about resiliency in another video, but it's found depths of myself that I didn't know I had. And that's all been through giving. So, yeah. Thank you for listening. I hope this video has been beneficial for you. And if you feel that someone else may benefit from the content of this video, please do share it. Please do comment, and please do subscribe, because I do want to build this platform, build a community here where we can check in on each other, and we can, ask each other questions, or we can say, I'm not having a good day today, and someone step in and say, okay, I'm here. Do you want to have a chat? That kind of thing. I really would like that. I think that's important. So thank you for listening. I hope to see you again in the next video. Until then, take care of your heart and souls. Thank you.